You'll have to excuse my stuffiness in this video. I am a little under the weather this week. I've had to stay home from work because I have the coughing and the sneezing and all those things, but I'm still working on my tasks and my goals a little bit throughout the day. And this is where this video started. So we're going to sit down and we're going to get cozy in our blankets, grab a cup of tea, and let's talk about this concept of being obsessive about our goals and whether or not that is a good or a bad thing. Really, this answer comes from within you, and only you can answer this. I'm not going to tell you that being obsessive is a bad thing, because for me, I know that I'm obsessive with my goals. And this question came about this week because I'm kind of sick. I have this cold or this bad cold, and yet I'm still working, and I'm still working at my work. I'm still working on my goals. And my kids, my husband were asking me, well, why can't you just settle down? Why can't you just relax and get some rest? And my answer was, well, because I'm obsessed with this. And I kind of had a laugh over it, but it made me think, am I overly obsessed with my goals? And would that really be a bad thing? In thinking about this, I think that there are different spectrums of this kind of obsessiveness. And being overly obsessive, I think, is kind of defined by, if you're working on something, kind of being that workaholic type of mentality where it's taking away from your life, where you're not kind of paying attention to your other responsibilities in life. Maybe you're saying no to some things that you shouldn't say no to, or you're staying up way too late at night, and everything is about this one thing. And I'm not saying that that's bad, because I know that we go through different seasons in our lives, and sometimes we have a challenge that the only way that we can work through it is by giving it our all. So I'm not saying that this is bad, but I don't feel like I'm at that point where I'm overly obsessive and giving everything that I have towards this goal. And by the way, I'm Stephanie, and at The Busy Dreamer here, I like to encourage you to go for your goals and your dreams amongst your busy life. And I know that we're all busy, and I like to say that when we're going for our goals and dreams, we're going to incorporate that into our busyness and keep moving forward to the point where we accomplish what we want to. So back to the being obsessive, which I totally think that I'm obsessive about my goals, but I like to say that it's in a healthy way. It's in a way that motivates me to keep showing up for my goals, that during the day, yes, I'll think about where I'm at. I'll think about my busy dreamer business that I'm starting. I'll think about where I'm at with that process and what I need to be working on. And I also try to, here's the thing, try not to feel bad or guilty or like I'm not being productive when I'm not working on it. So for me, that's the balance that I have to strike, that I have work to do. I have my kids and their homework and cooking and everything along with living a life, right? But I still have this dream, and I still have to do all of those things. And my dream is a want, it's a wish, it's a goal that I'm going after. And I feel like kind of being obsessive, if you want to call it that, is what keeps that in my life. It drives me to move forward with it. It makes it so I'm not forgetting about that goal and that dream. And then it makes me grab that computer and work on that next task. But I've definitely been in that kind of rut where if I'm not working on whatever goal that I'm working on, I feel like I'm stuck, or that I'm not being productive, or that that dream is just being forgotten and it's not worked on because of whatever I'm doing at that time. And really, this is kind of a mental game where I have to tell myself it's okay to be doing what I'm doing right now. and I will work on that thing later. So for you, I'm hoping that you're able to kind of hear what I'm saying about striking that balance and being self-aware of what works best for you. One of the things that also helps with kind of being overly obsessive about something, and I've talked about this in other videos, is to allow yourself a slow and steady pace and to not feel like you have to get that done in a rush. Or maybe you are working on something with a deadline, but what I'm talking about here is like our own personal, non-career related maybe goals and dreams, that where I know for me, I'm setting my own deadlines, and sometimes I set strict deadlines, and that adds an extra stress and then this extra sense of having to rush through whatever I'm working on in order to get it done and just be at that finish line, instead of being slow and steady and kind of forgiving myself for whatever pace I'm working on and enjoying the process. I think that's the main thing here, is that as long as we feel like this goal and this dream is adding to our life and not taking away from our life, you can label it whatever you want. I know that I'm kind of obsessive about my goals, but it adds to my life. I feel like it adds this happiness and this sense of purpose and this sense that I'm working towards something that's going to bring me even more of fulfillment in my life. I think that's it for me today. I'm going to grab my cup of tea and my kitty and my computer and just kind of tick away at a couple of tasks. And I hope that you find motivation from this. Let me know what you're working on, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.